Imagine earning an extra 600 euros every single month in Germany without paying taxes and without paying into social security. Sounds too good to be true, right? Well, it isn't. It's 100% legal and it's called a mini job. In this video, I'll explain exactly how mini jobs work, who qualifies, what the rules are, and how you can use them to boost your income. Whether you're a student, already working full-time, or just looking for a simple side hustle. I'll also share some of the highest paying mini jobs in Germany that can earn you the maximum amount with only a few hours of work each month. So stick around because this could be your easiest way to earn extra cash in Germany without the stress of extra taxes or bureaucracy. By the way, if you're new to the channel, my name is Essen, and on this channel we discuss how to build wealth in Germany. Let's begin with understanding the basics. A mini job is basically a legal hack to earn money in Germany without paying a single cent in taxes or social contributions. Sounds good, right? But there is a catch, and I'll explain that in a moment. But before that, the monthly earning cap for mini jobs is tied to the minimum wage in Germany. This cap has changed over the years. In 2024, the maximum you could earn in a mini job was 538 euros per month. In 2025, that amount increased to 556 euros per month, and in 2026, it's further increased to 603 euros per month. That's a yearly earning of up to 7,236 euros without triggering taxes or social insurance payments. But mini jobs aren't just about earning tax-free income. They are also regulated to ensure workers receive fair treatment. That includes rights such as paid sick leave, holiday entitlement, and minimum wage protection. Now you might be wondering, wait, does this even apply to me? The answer is almost always yes. Whether you're a student, already working a full-time job, or even between jobs, there's a version of a mini job that fits your situation. The mini job system is designed to be flexible and inclusive, but that flexibility comes with certain rules that must be followed to avoid penalties. Now you might immediately think of waitressing, cashier jobs, or working in retail when you hear the term mini job. And yes, these are very common examples. These fall under what are called commercial mini jobs, where the employer is a company or business. You could be working in a cafe, a restaurant, supermarket, or logistic warehouses. But there's also another category known as household mini jobs. These are jobs where the employer is a private individual rather than a company. Typical household mini jobs include babysitting, dog walking, tutoring, gardening, or cleaning. Now let's look at the two types of mini jobs more formally defined under the German law. First, there's the regular mini job, where the average monthly income does not exceed the income threshold. For 2026, that's 603 euros per month. Over 12 months, the maximum you can earn is 7,236 euros. However, there is a legal exception that allows you to exceed this amount for up to 2 months per year. This means that under specific conditions, your total annual income from a mini job can reach up to 8,442 euros. These exceptions apply when, for example, you work additional hours in 1 month due to seasonal demand and still average under the yearly limit. The second type is called short-term employment. This is different because it's not about how much you earn, but how much you work. In a short-term mini job, you can earn any amount of money, but you cannot work for more than 3 months or 70 working days in a calendar year. The key point is that this type of employment must be temporary and not ongoing. Well, if you're helping out during the holiday season or working at an event. But what happens if you go beyond the earning limit or the permitted duration? In that case, your job is no longer considered as a mini job. Instead, it becomes a regular taxable employment. You and your employer will both be responsible for social contributions, and the job must be reported to the health insurance provider. This can also affect your tax class and take a significant chunk out of your earnings. So always track your income and working hours carefully. Now, an important point that many people overlook. If you already have a full-time job, you need to inform your employer before starting a mini job. In most cases, employers are fine with it, but there are situations where your employer can object. For example, if your mini job is with a competitor or if it conflicts with your working hours and duties. German labor law also requires you to adhere to the working hour limits, even if you're combining mini jobs. Here's where most people get into trouble. German law is super strict about working hours. If you break these rules, your boss can legally stop your mini job. So listen carefully. You cannot work more than 48 hours a week in total, and you need 11 hours of rest between shifts. Translation: if you finish your full-time job at 7 p.m., you cannot start your side hustle until 6 a.m. the next day. Tough, but that's the law. What about Sundays? Sundays in Germany are generally considered days of rest. Working on Sundays is usually prohibited unless you work like healthcare, public transport, gastronomy, or entertainment. Even then, if you work on a Sunday, you are required to take another day off as compensation. And if you already work Monday through Friday at your full-time job, working Sundays in your mini job could violate rest laws, which can lead to warnings or even dismissal. If your employment contract includes a clause on secondary employment, be sure to read it carefully. Some contracts require prior written approval, while others only require notification. When in doubt, it's a good idea to consult a lawyer. You can find affordable legal insurance providers in the video description that can help you navigate employment issues. So how can you notify your employer? Here is a simple template you can use. Just sign it and send it in writing, whether via email or letter, for documentation. This ensures there's no confusion later, especially if your employer's policies change or if you change your mini job role. Okay, before we jump into the highest paying mini jobs, let me quickly bust some of the most common myths. One of the most frequently asked questions is, do you get holiday leave in a mini job? The answer is yes. Mini job workers have the same right to holiday leaves as full-time employees. The number of days depend on how many days you work per week. For example, if you work only on Mondays and Wednesdays, you are entitled to vacation days proportionate to that schedule. Employers cannot ask you to take leave on days you wouldn't normally work on. Also, if there's a public holiday on your working day, you do not have to make up those missing hours. What about sick leave? If you're sick, you must notify your employer before your shift starts and let them know how long you expect to be ill. In some cases, depending on your contract, your employer might ask for a doctor's certificate from the first day. If you've been employed for over 4 weeks, you're entitled to continued payments for up to 6 weeks. And no, you don't have to make up those missing days. Can you have more than one mini job? Technically, yes, but you must ensure that the total income from all of the mini jobs does not exceed the monthly limit. If you cross the 603 euros limit in 2026, all of your income becomes subject to tax and social contributions. You might also be placed under tax class 6, which has higher deductions. So while you can combine jobs, the total income must remain within the legal limits. Alright, here's the part you've been waiting for. The jobs that actually pay more than minimum wage. Because yes, some mini jobs pay double, even triple the average rate. Now mini jobs pay around the statutory minimum wage, which is 12.82 euros per hour in 2025 and set to rise to 13.9 euros in 2026. To earn the full monthly limit of a mini job, you'd have to work about 43 to 45 hours a month. But there are many jobs that pay significantly more than the minimum wage. For example, storage helpers can earn between 15 and 18 euros per hour. Lifeguards may earn about 18 to 22 euros per hour. Mystery shoppers often make between 24 to 28 euros per hour. Private tutors can earn as much as 28 euros per hour. That means as a tutor, you only need to work about 20 hours a month to reach the maximum mini job limit. In addition to this, these high-paying mini jobs are great if you want to work fewer hours while maximizing your income. Now here is a list of some of the highest paying mini jobs in Germany. Now of course, 600 euros a month might be enough for some people, but others may want to earn more. So here's something for you to consider. What if you could earn more than 600 euros per month by starting your own business on the side, even while working full-time? Yes, it's absolutely legal. In this video, I explained exactly how to set up a small business in Germany, even with a full-time job. And in this video, I share how to save thousands of euros each year if you support your family back home.